Hi everyone, welcome you all to this video, and with this video I would like to offer you some practical tips and techniques to help you with your German driving license preparation. There are many good videos out there that covers the important tips for your exam. These are of course very good videos. I've used that for myself for my preparation and it has really helped me a lot. I don't want to cover those and repeat that in this video. Please do watch them at your convenience. But with this video, I would like to add on to that list with, of course, some unique, little different, and some other important practical tips from my side, which would definitely help you clear all the confusions that you have with the road. This has really helped me personally, and I'm sure this would help you as well. Please watch the video till the very end. And the last tip is my favorite. I would call from my side, that's the golden tip that would definitely help you with your exam. So stay tuned.
So without any delay, let's get started. The first tip, red signal is your best friend. I've referred this in my other videos as well, but I wanted to re-emphasize this point again. So next time you see a green signal changing amber, receive the red signal with happiness, because red signal is your best friend. And why I say that? Because red signal gives you sufficient preparation time. It gives you time to look around. Make use of this time to check your mirrors, check your surrounding. And for example, if you have got the instruction to turn right, you could check if there are pedestrians already waiting, if there are bicycles behind you, and you could already see if you could spot some speed limit signs. So you could make use of this time, relax yourself, and prepare your journey forward. So remember, red signal is your best friend. Okay, so then now let's look at the next tip, and this is for turning left and right. Has this happened to you that you're not very sure where to turn? You see a bus route, you see a tram route, and so on. So for that, look for this blue arrow. This is your pass by symbol on the road. This gives you a right entry point to the turning road. And this is a major help in confusing intersections. Now let's look at the next tip, which is don't blindly follow the vehicle ahead of you. This is mostly seen in left turn scenarios where a car ahead of you take a left turn and you blindly follow that car. It was fine for the previous example, but if you look this example, if you would have just followed the van ahead of us, you would have missed this oncoming traffic. So please don't blindly follow the vehicle ahead of you. You will also notice somebody not following speed limit, for example. I once asked my instructor why is that, and his answer was interesting. Probably he has a driving license and you don't. Now let's jump into the next tip, which is to use the correct gear according to speed restrictions. Again, these are just my recommendations, and I would recommend to be in second gear when you are in a 30 zone road, when your speed is restricted by a 30 speed limit, when you are about to enter a roundabout, when you see a pedestrian lane, and so on. I've also missed the give way sign. So also when you see a give way sign, make sure you move your car to the second gear and then look around, reduce your speed, and then cross. And my recommendation for 50 zone road in autobahn acceleration path or autobahn exit path is to stay in your third gear. Why? Because your engine will make noise if you're increasing your speed than the allowed limit. Let's look at the next tip, which is to check your mirrors occasionally. And this is very important. Make sure you occasionally check them. Make use of the red signal also to check them. And whenever you think that you need to check your lane or your surrounding, make sure you check your mirrors. your examiner will also be taking a note of that. Let's look at the next tip, which is to drive as per your allowed speed limit. If you are at a 50 speed limit road, don't drive too slow. Make sure that you are at 45, 48. If you are at a 30, again, don't drive very slow, but make sure you are around 30. And also it applies to Autobahn. If you have a 120 speed limit, don't drive too slow. Drive very close to 120. Okay, now let's look at the next one, which is to read your signs from bottom to top. This is an interesting piece of advice my instructor gave me. And reading from bottom to top helps you ignore a signal quite fast. In this case, for example, if you're driving on a Saturday and if you read something for Monday to Friday, you can ignore this sign. Yeah. Or if you're able to read this sign, you could see that 80 speed limit is applicable from 10 to 6. So if you read from bottom to top, it is 10 to 6, ignore the sign. Time to move to the next one, tip number 8 for speed limit signs. One of our subscriber friend has commented that he quite often misses to spot the speed limit signs. Are there any tips? Expect or anticipate speed limit signs in most of the intersections or junction. So as you cross the intersection, generally you get to see a speed limit sign. Yeah, like you see this. And if you don't find any, that means that road is 50 km per hour and your previous road was also 50 km per hour. Okay, let's look at another example where you are entering a 30 km zone. Again, spotted at an intersection. So this is a 30 km road and probably this is a school area, and you will see that there are more and more 30 km reminder. So once you spot a 30 km road, you're going very slow and you cannot miss to spot another speed limit. Generally, another reminder for 30, and very soon you will see that the speed limit is coming back to 50. So now that you're driving at 50, expect a change of speed in your next left turn or a right turn or the next intersection. Another tip, not so recommended, is to rely on your dashboard if you have completely missed to spot the speed limit. Okay, now let's look at the next tip. Like I've written, while taking left or right turn, stay behind the signal if there are already two vehicles ahead of you. So this is a good example. You could see the signal is slightly ahead of you. That means there is at least two vehicles in front of you trying to turn left, and slowly stop in front of the signal because you see there is a lot of oncoming traffic. In this case, stay behind the signal because as you see that the signal has turned red and you might not get enough time to make a complete left turn. Okay, now let's look at the next one, which is to track your route. And here I mean the route that your instructor, the driving school instructor, take you through. And why you would need that we will cover in the next tip. PS tracks. Okay, it's as simple as this. You just need to start. Okay, press the start button and that's it. As you move, your location is then traced. Okay, and then you press stop and save and give a track name. Okay, the track name is test, YouTube test, and save. Okay, to access the track, you need to go back to the tracks and then look for your tracks. I mean, here there is nothing much to show, but to give you an example, this will look something like this. And this is how, if you remember, I have shown you my exam track, the actual exam track, and this is how I have tracked it. Okay, similarly, track your route that your examiner take you through, and yeah, that's how you use it. Okay, then it's time to move to the last step, where I would call this as a golden tip. What if we know the exact route of our exam beforehand? Do you think that is possible? Well, actually not, right? It is not possible to 100% predict the actual route of your exam. But what is possible for sure, and this is something which I'm sharing with my experience, and also that I have spoken to many of my friends who have appeared the exam recently, that 80% of your exam route is probably very similar route that your training instructor, your Farashole training instructor has taken you through. So this will not be surprise. There will be for sure 20% surprise element. Expect for that, but at least 80% is something which you can predict. And that is why I have asked you to, in the previous step, I have asked you to record or track the route. And with this tip, I will show you how to study the route. And of course, you have two options. You can either take your friend along with you who has a driving license and go through the same route and familiarize that route. That's of course one option. And the second option is you can do this at your fingertips. You can exactly go through the same route and still get the visibility of the road, read all the road signs, and so on. Do you wonder how? Let's look at the tip. Okay, open Apple Maps. Should be by default installed in your Apple device. Search for the address that you're looking for. In my case, it is Rosenheimer Straße 86. This was the start location of my exam. Okay, this was right in front of my driving school. And you see this image here with a binocular symbol. Just click onto that. Okay, and this will pop up. Just you could close this this part, the left side part where the address is shown. You can take that off, but here you see that you could see the driving school. You could actually move the image, any direction you want, but let's face it to the direction that we wanted to head to. So this is actually the start point. This was the start point for my exam. You could of course choose any location you want and do this. You just need to click on the road like this. You see that click, and then you see that the vehicle is moving. It would appear that the vehicle is moving. Okay, so you could just click further on the road and this will go like this, and you see how clear it is. You could see that there is a 30 speed limit. You see there is an intersection. Just click forward and move forward like this. So how can you use this? You should club this with the previous tip that I have explained. You know the route that your instructor is taking you through, and just do this using Apple Maps. See another 30 limit sign. So now use this method to study the route. Now next time you hit the road, you should know that okay, I am starting my exam in a 30 speed limit road, so I should be clear on that. you could already check here. Okay, there is two lane going forward and one lane going right and one lane going left. Okay, this is what I mean. Study the route completely and go forward and study the entire route that you have traced as per the previous tip. So here, yeah, it was little too fast, but I've just crossed the 50 speed limit. So now you know that you started from a 30 limit, now you're entering a 50 speed limit, and so on. So you could just continue this like this and go through the exact same route that you have traced in your previous step.
Thank you for watching this video so far. I really hope these tips are useful and would come handy for your exam. Please give me your feedback in the comment section below. And also please do like, share and subscribe so that this video reaches maximum people. Thank you so much.